All right, welcome back to the Sonic Block again, everyone. I hope you're not sick of me yet. This time we got Sonic 06 Sonic Story by my boy Flubbler, and joining me on the commentary we got Reverie. What's up?
Yo, we're about to watch, as everyone is, I'm sure, aware, the greatest game ever to be envisioned by mankind.
Yes, indeed.
Game is very good.
So, hello everyone. This is Sonic 06. We're going to be getting started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is huge because this category really hasn't been shown off in like 7 years in a marathon of this size. So there's been tons of new strats that have been found and new cool tech to see. So for the first like 2 minutes, nothing's really going on. We're just going through cutscenes and dealing with the usual loading screens that Sonic 06 offers. So you love to see it. But yeah, this game was very rushed, and the developers didn't really look into the kind of glitches and stuff like that this game had to offer, and as a result, it's a very broken but fun game. Has like almost no RNG besides maybe one boss, and even then, like that boss isn't like run destroying. So pretty much all this run is just mental, and that's really about it. And your kind of ability to take the repetitiveness of the load screens, if you will, at least on console,
Yeah. So as Flub kind of alluded to, this game is like a really good speedrun because it's like if it's really broken casually, it's gonna be a great speedrun because like the game did half the work for us. We didn't have to break it; it broke itself, and the lack of RNG like really adds to that as well. Besides the loading screens, this game is an amazing speedrun, I promise. So this first part of the game, this is like the town mission tutorial kind of thing. We have to get a bunch of rings to buy an upgrade in the shop, and that takes like 2 minutes because of the load screens.
Yeah. On emulator, it actually takes like only a minute. It's like half the time cut because of the
Oh,
loads.
yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's mission 1.
Yeah, it's really cool that they decided that you should wait 20 seconds for the game to load the entire hub world to have the guy say one line and then load again.
Yeah.
It's like etch-a-sketching the disc.
It's not just that it takes so long, it's that they just use the loading so inefficiently. It's actually absurd. But
And the load times are variable too, which is just awesome.
Yes, it's wonderful. So now we're going to be buying the Light Dash so we could head over to the first stage of this run, which is Wave Ocean. And we're going to be going for a very funny skip in the beginning. We'll see if I can get it. If not, I'll be showing a slower but still very cool skip that's offered in this stage. So
Yeah, so to just give some background to the skip you're about to see, how homing attacking works in this game is whenever you lock onto something, the game basically just locks in the position and speeds Sonic forward until he hits whatever he was aiming at. But we get to abuse this by going in a particular spot on this loop.
Oh, I got it.
We get to go in a particular spot on this loop, and we can force Sonic to whiff his homing attack, which means he'll just speed forward until he hits anything at all. So we get to skip like 60% of this stage.
All right, and we're already getting flashbacks to earlier that we saw with Tails. They very much just took that from Sadix. And speaking of Tails, we're now going to be playing as him. And normally what you have to do is you have to free Sonic, go into the gate. But we're going to be skipping this entire gap and instead heading all the way over here. And instead of grabbing the switch, which you normally would do, we're going to be... Oh, there we go.
This is sketchy.
Oh,
okay.
We're going to be heading over to the gate because the loading zone is still here. So
yeah.
Might as well,
Tails' flight is actually like really, really intricate in this game, but we don't really have a lot of time to explain it right now. But he has his full feature-length stage that we'll get to later.
Yeah.
But Mach speed in this game is also very interesting because the game doesn't enforce a speed cap unless you are moving. So what Flub is doing here is he's specifically taking these light dashes and then he's neutral sticking for as long as possible, because that means the game like never returns your speed back to the normal running speed. So we get to keep the light dash speed for a much, much longer period of time. So Mach Speed is all about taking light dashes and just, you know, running straight forward. Here we're actually going to take damage to avoid an S rank. S ranks in Sonic 06 give you an additional gold medal, like the emblems in SA2 do. But the thing about those is that they are...
Oh!
Oh, no!
Oh, no. That is unfortunate. I hit a wrong part of the polygon there, unfortunately, and as a result, died when... if you, like, go at that rock, like, in a correct angle, you could, like, avoid, like, missing the rings, but oh well, you know.
Yeah,
I
if
guess
you
you're
jump in
gonna
the
see
cave
Mach Speed
correctly,
again.
you avoid taking damage altogether, but...
Yeah.
The ring bonus in this game, like the amount of score you get for rings is really ridiculous, so a lot of times we can avoid S ranks purely by just getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that the ring bonus only counts at the end of the stage. A lot of other Sonic games, the ring bonus you get from collecting the ring, you get them when you collect the rings, so it doesn't matter whether you lose them or not. But in this game,
06 it actually has both. Like you get 10 score whenever you pick up a ring, and then you get 100 score for every ring you take to the finish.
Ah, missed it. You could like jump over that ramp and skip this entire section to finish the stage. But there you go, that's Revotion.
Yeah, there's just so much going on in this game. We have like no time to cover all of it.
And there you go, we skipped the S rank. That would cause an additional gold medal to appear on the screen, so.
Yeah, we'll be skipping S ranks whenever possible.
yeah, a lot of times we won't be able to. But Sonic, we can skip most of them, unlike some of the other characters where we're kind of just forced to.
Yeah, the time bonus in this game is also either really good or really bad, depending on the stage. But here, we're tasked with getting under a ledge in order to save a girl. Very riveting gameplay. But that requires us to grab an upgrade, and the shop is like really, really far away, so we don't want to do that. So instead, we're going to do a frame-perfect homing attack in order to clip into this building and skip the upgrade entirely.
Second try, there we go. Very, very nice. And we're just gonna go talk to this girl, deal with another loading screen, which you're gonna see a lot in this run. And then head over to the portal for Dusty Desert. Now, this is recently a strat that was actually slower before we switched to the loadless timing method. And normally before, to save RTA, we would do 3 clips.
What is happening? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's some weird stuff going on in our ears right now, but...
Yeah, 06 just breaks everything.
Yeah. But yeah, we just do the 1 clip and deal with the loading screen in the new timing method. But regardless, we have Egg Surf here, which can very, very frequently, on some cases, turn instantly and just run away and prevent you from getting it. But it seems like we had no issue this time.
Yeah, Serb is like notoriously one of the most RNG heavy and janky bosses in the game. There is like a genuine iceberg of jank that can happen in this boss, but luckily we didn't have any issues.
Yeah, there we go. 27, that's
He's also
good.
significantly shorter for Sonic than Shadow because you have the statues that deal double damage for some reason.
Yeah, they're just not present in Shadow's version of the fight for some reason.
Man, would I love those.
Oh, man.
That's incredible.
So yeah, bosses you really can't do anything about the time bonus. So we're gonna deal with the S rank. So you'll
Yeah,
see here we
it's
get an
too
extra
slow.
medal.
We can't wait 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's only 5 seconds you lose for the extra medal, so we would be losing significantly more than that to try and avoid it.
Yeah, it's also because bosses give you like a flat 10,000 score whenever you defeat them, plus the time bonus, which is always ridiculous. But now we have our first princess level, which completely destroys our moveset. Like we can't spin dash, we can't spin kick, we can't do anything except homing attack and use the shield, which we'll be doing a lot of both.
Yeah, it makes up for all of that with getting this funny bubble that lets you walk on the sand.
But we'll be doing another homing attack with, like you saw in the first stage, because this one can homing attack, and it functions the exact same. So we're going to be shooting all the way over here. And mashing the A button a whole lot.
Yeah, so we did that one by using a pause buffer where if you press start and A on the same frame, for whatever reason, you can do the homing attack. It'll input 2 A presses instead of 1. I don't know why.
Yeah, which makes the timing of the A presses consistent and therefore make it a lot easier. So here we're going to get hit to avoid another S rank and then just mash A until we win. Because who doesn't love mashing?
57, wow.
57's really good, yeah.
All right, and there you go. That's Dusty Desert. Basically, just a mashing stage. That's really all you get.
Oh, don't
As
worry.
you can't spin dash.
We have another one.
Yes, that is true. But now we're going to be going into probably the most infamous boss in this game, which is Silver the Hedgehog. But you're going to see it in a little bit of a different way than you see, you know, on your usual Game Grumps Let's Play.
Yeah, this is actually one of the easiest bosses in this story. There's
Yes.
a strat you can do where you get the same time literally every time, but of course this is Flub, so we're going to not be seeing that. We're going to be seeing the
Yes.
fast version.
Mm-hmm. And say it with me. Say it all together. No! Oh, this is going to be scuffed. Oh, that did not work out. I'm just going to have to do it like this. The old school, except this way.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, so what Flub was trying to do there is he was trying to manipulate Silver's AI into picking up objects over and over again, but he messed it up, so...
Yeah.
That's the strat where you get the same time pretty much every time, is you just homing attack away twice, and he'll jump towards you every time, and you can hit him while he's in the air.
Yeah, his AI is very predictable.
Yeah, but there you go. That's kind of the end of mostly the early game in this. And now we're just going to be going into kind of a little area where you can relax for the most part because you got a bunch of easy missions to do going into another stage. But first, before we go over to New City, we're going to be going over to the captain and do that funny mission.
Yeah, this is some really serious time coming up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul's going to need an incredible amount of focus.
Yeah, we have a stretch of 3 town missions in a row before we're able to have fun and play the game again, including the greatest mission. They really pooled all of their greatest minds at Sega together to come up with this one. So this is supposed to be like a detective mini game of oh, each captain's saying a different thing. Who's telling the truth? Who's lying? But the solution is literally, it's just the guy who you talk to start the quest. So all we do is we just homing attack forward and we just talk to the same guy twice. It's really cool and awesome.
It's very riveting gameplay, and you will see. Let's see what
Blink
we
and
can
you'll
get.
miss it. There you go, the mission's over.
There you go. Mission's over.
Wowee.
Very riveting gameplay.
Yeah, luckily for us, town missions actually don't give you the ranks for the S rank. You
Yeah.
only get 1 for collecting all of the S ranks for all the town missions, which we luckily won't be having to do.
I promise the next 2 town missions are cool.
Yes.
Slightly more gameplay.
Sonic, can you hear me?
Nuck.
Nuck! Yeah, so
All
now at this point, we actually don't need the upgrade we skipped earlier to progress, but it is actually very, very useful for combat, and the shop in this area is way further in the way, so we're actually going to be grabbing that upgrade now.
Yeah, it's only slightly out of the way this time, and it'll save us quite a bit of time, and we'll get to see it used quite a bit actually in these combat encounters coming up.
This first one in particular is a very, very skill-based stage. It's honestly, it's harder than some full-length stages to optimize. You'll see at the start, Flub is going to do a spin dash strat, but he's going to have to veer off to the side in order to kill one guy who would normally not be affected by an exploding box. There's a bunch of little optimizations like that with 06 combat. So here we're going to use the anti-grav, and it's going to actually push a lot of these soldiers into that exploding box, which kills the other guys.
Oh my gosh, does this game slow down on console sometimes? Wow.
Yeah.
I mostly play this on emulator, so I'm not used to that. But there are definitely some times where the game's going to slow down pretty bad. I know some of them. I know where one of them is coming up in a while.
Yeah, and as you saw Flub do on that big guy over there, you can actually just like use anti-grav at low speed and just like stay inside the same guy to just deal damage a bunch of times.
Wow, at 37. Wow.
37 is like unbelievably cracked. I struggle to get like 40s on
Indeed,
this
Sonic.
And coming up, we have the most important hub world movement in the entire run.
Yes.
It is absolutely imperative that we get this to be as skillful as possible.
Yes, very important. Oh, I got it first try.
That's it.
Oh.
That required the game to slow down to a halt.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've definitely not forgotten to go and talk to Knuckles, and definitely not tried to go all the way over to White Acropolis to realize the cutscene trigger was not there because I didn't walk 2 feet forward to talk to Knuckles.
Yeah.
Why they force you to load back into the world just to go 2 inches forward to talk to Knuckles and watch another cutscene is beyond me, but it is required. So
It is definitely required.
Yeah, Sonic Story is the one where they put a lot more effort into the forcing you to do cutscenes and missions than the other two. The other two, you can skip so many more.
Yeah, this is like the one story where they actually put checks on things. Like the White Acropolis mirror checks for the completion of this mission, so we can't skip any of the others. That's really awesome that this is the story that they pooled all their resources into.
Yeah, they just ran out of time and just said, whatever, if you can get to the mirror, go right ahead, man.
Thank you, Sega, for that. We really appreciate it.
And look, you get Tails walking into the ring capsule right here. Let's see if we can get the funny title. Oh, 17. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
17. That's very good for this mission.
That was incredible.
So now we get to actually go into the stage and have
Yes.
fun again.
Fun is debatable.
No, this stage is awesome.
It
Yes.
is.
It's very cool. Although you skim most of it. But yeah, the very first section is we're going to see a snowboarding section actually, which is a new gameplay, and we're going to be basically breaking the speed cap in the snowboarding section in this level and another level later on. But yeah, it's very, very sick. Why don't you explain?
Yeah, so in these snowboard sections, there are a lot of these scripted jumps that give you a bunch of speed, and then they kill it before you hit the ground. But in certain spots, we can get Sonic to cancel the jump early, which preserves the speed of the jump into our normal like snowboard speed cap. Like we're just running around here. Like this jump will give us a boost of speed, and then there's a big one coming up.
Yeah, let's see. Can we get it? There we go.
There we go. So he's going to land early, and he's going to get a bunch of speed. Now, the drawback is that it's actually very, very easy to clip out of bounds off of literally any wall. So we have to take very, very specific lines in order to not basically instantly die. Like, this snowball is supposed to be, like, right behind us. This is supposed to be really
Yeah,
tense
but we're
and
just
awesome.
way past it. It's just not there anymore.
And this jump at the end, we're going so fast we don't even have to jump.
Yeah. Yeah, and there you go. That's the snowboarding section. So up next, normally is a section that you play with Tails, and you have to like disable the light switches. But we ain't gonna be doing that. We're gonna be going into a bunch of lasers and basically homing attacking through it because the hit detection is very funny. So we're gonna, there you go,
Wow.
clip through there, and that's basically the
That
entire
skipped
stage.
90% of the level, by the way. I know it didn't look like it, but it did.
Yeah, and then this is physics jump. There you go, and we
That-
just skipped that little side thing. There you go, 113. Very nice.
Very, very clean.
And unfortunately, we cannot have.
Go easy. No sweat.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say S rank, but
Yeah, luckily
There
we
you go.
take damage on. We have to force take damage.
yeah,
on
yeah,
lasers
exactly.
Anyway, so.
Like if you weren't able to take damage, you'd probably still get the S rank there, you know. But yeah, here we go. We're gonna be going into another snowboarding section actually here. This time in Crisis City, probably the most famous level from this game, given it was remade in Generations and stuff. And this level is quite long, 4 sections and a Mach speed section to include that too. And you actually, I believe, skip most of the normal speed in the boarding section by another speed cap we're going to do.
Yeah, don't worry, we have more.
Yeah, the speed cap is not quite as powerful as the Sharu speed from White Acropolis, but it still makes the section play quite a bit differently and is really cool.
Yeah, especially these fire geysers, if you hit them while under the
And there
effects
it
of
is.
the speed cap, you will just get sent like directly 90 degrees to the left or right and pretty much instantly die. So again, we have to take very, very specific lines to avoid death.
Yeah, and by the way, if we hit any of these like fire craters or whatever, we're just going to be sent backwards. It's going to be not fun. And oh, I barely missed that one.
That was very close.
Yeah, it would have not been a fun situation. Oh, we got hit, but
And suddenly, a load screen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fun
right in front of some speed pads.
Yeah, fun fact about that one, the devs could not figure out how to get Snowboard Sonic to properly work with automation, so they literally just put the load trigger in front of the dash panels.
Yeah, and then now we're going to be doing another skip, basically skipping most of the rail section and just warping to a homing attack zone that's over here. Oh, not as far as I'd hoped, but
That's another homing attack whip, but that one's really, really subtle.
yeah. And so we just skip like basically a huge turn that the rail section does.
Rails in this game are really weird because there of course is the trick animation like within Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, but the timing for the trick on the rails is like not at all based on the animation. There's actually like a set rhythm that is just never explained anywhere. And if you go too fast, you actually reset to the default speed and you're locked out of doing tricks for a while. So runners have to kind of keep that invisible rhythm in their heads while they're going on the rails.
And then we get automation, another thing we're going to be seeing a lot in this game. Oh, except
Nice
I broke
bomb.
out of it. Oh well.
Yeah, you just lose 2 seconds there for no reason. Awesome.
Yeah. And then we're going to be going for another funny skip. And we'll see if we make it. It's pretty tough, but I'm getting the checkpoint for safety. Here we go.
I'll explain if we get it, but this is
Oh,
kind of...
I missed it.
Okay.
All right, didn't even get the chance to do it. But what you could do there is you could actually kick the ladder out and skip this entire automated section and just go straight to the end ramp.
Yeah,
and
so like you can run on the ladder and kick on it, and kicking it like sends it forward, but you're still on the ladder, so you get to fly with it. It's really sick.
yeah.
Pretty hard though.
Yeah, we'll see a similar type of skip later, though, in Egg Genesis.
And in this section, we'll be seeing a lot of a specific exploit that we've neglected to mention. Normally, casually, Spin Dash in this game feels really bad because it's like, oh, I can't jump out of it, what the heck. But we can actually jump out of it by starting a spin kick and then animation canceling the start of it with a jump. So if we flick from X to A, we're actually able to jump out of Spin Dash, and that helps with general movement a lot.
It's
Here
so
we're
messed
gonna
up that the spin dash jump.
Yeah.
Speed
Shoutouts
jack.
to Focus Sight.
Yeah, there we can jump on the pipe and go straight to the spring, skipping that little enemy homing attack chain.
Yeah, and then this is like the other RNG spot, honestly, in this run. It's very subtle, but like it can definitely destroy you. This Mach Speed likes to just throw things at you, and sometimes, you know, it's random each time. Like it all depends. Like you could get completely owned,
Like that.
as I did. Yeah, there.
It's very easy to just get bopped twice and die because literally every single like piece of car shrapnel that you see, all of them do damage, and all of them will reset you to default speed.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have a lot of these light dashes, and of course it's a straight line, so we get to neutral stick a lot of these and maintain max speed.
Yeah.
It is really tricky though because we want to not get hit until the very end. Like we have a bunch of rings, and it is actually optimal to jump onto these cars and get hit so that we can avoid the S rank.
Yeah. And there you go. That's Crisis City.
Beautiful. And of course we have slowdown on the
Yeah.
result screen.
You can actually skip this results screen by dying and then hitting the goal ring at the end, like by hitting a random object. But chances are, most of the time, like objects are not going to appear that late, like for you to fit into that window, and so we don't usually get the opportunity. But it has been done multiple times. All right, and then here we got another fire stage, Flame Core, and we're going to be right away going for a light dash to skip another set of automation that's just too slow. Hopefully I can get it. It's a little bit tough out of the loading screen here, but
yeah, we're going to be breaking out of the automation and light dashing on it.
There we go.
Light dashing on that set of rings actually propels us through the automation much faster than normal because dash panels in 06, instead of just like setting your speed to a certain value, they actually add to your current speed. So if you're spin dashing or light dashing into a dash panel, like so,
okay.
you'll be
Very
going,
cool.
You'll go much faster than normal. This
So
is actually pretty bad.
we're going to have to improvise here because we fell in here, so we're going to have to go,
Classic
I think,
flame
this
core
way?
moment.
Yeah, there you go. And go into here and go around. Normally you would actually take a little clench jump here around that corner, but oh well, I guess the wall didn't like us.
Also, yeah, you can just doors are they're not real.
This bridge is gonna collapse in minutes.
So that first combat we can skip. That one door, you can actually just like physically just walk through it. Like if you just hold forward at the corner of the door, you'll clip through it. But this next door is physically impossible to clip through. It is like the one door in the game that we cannot negotiate with whatsoever. So we are actually forced to do some combat here.
It's so funny that the two doors look identical, and one of them is comically easy to clip through, and the other one is just impossible.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like even with all of Sonic's upgrades, we can't clip through this door. But yeah, we can take care of that combat nice and easy. We're going to be going for an aerial damage boost here. Something else to mention about 06 is that you don't actually like incur a penalty if you get hit in the air. Like your momentum stops and you'll fall to the ground, but you don't like trip or anything. So in places where we need to damage boost like that, we'll be going in the air.
Yeah. And there is a very, very, very small chance you could actually get hit by one of the meteors that are falling on your way to the volcano. It's only happened to me once. In this category,
yeah,
least.
It's very rare, but if it happens, you're just dead. Like there is literally
you lose 2
no
minutes.
way. There is literally no way to recover from that.
All right. And then this rail's very finicky here. Let's see if we can. There we go.
Nice. That rail in particular is a big annoyance to homing attack onto correctly. And here we're going to be clipping out of this tube with the anti-grav, that upgrade we picked up before Mission 11. If you are on any
and here's
kind
SMB jump.
Shout out to SMB, let's go.
If you are on any kind of like wall, if you're running on a wall at all, for whatever reason, when you activate anti-grav, you just clip through it. Like it works on literally any wall in the game that you can run on.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And here we're supposed to be like lighting these 5 orbs so that Sonic can like see or something so that he can go to the end of the room, but ceilings are not real. So we're just going to be coming up here.
Oh, there we go.
Clipping through the ceiling, and then we're just going to go straight to the goal ring because we can.
Yeah, and because we have over 30 rings, we got to get hit by this thing but we just get sent down, and then we could just glide over here. And there you go, that's Flame Core.
Nice.
And we can actually play as Knuckles still and die in the results screen, but no, we're
How
fine.
can you do this?
I can't believe Knuckles is dead.
All right, and then we have basically a 2-minute auto-scroller coming up.
This is my favorite boss. Like, I want everyone to know this is the best one. It's a 2.5-minute long boss that has RNG and is 5 minutes long casually. And there's like very few ways to speed it up. One of which we're going to be doing. So normally you're supposed to go onto these pillars and light these orbs in order to get Iblis to come to you. But if you're not on the platform, he actually just like tracks to your current position. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to light the orb to get him to attack a little bit earlier than normal. And then we're essentially going to be just diving into the lava and spin kicking him as he jumps into the lava to attack us. Which saves about 2 to 3 seconds per hit just because his dive animation isn't as long.
And yeah, so we just kick him as he's coming, and then we do that repeat 3 times.
And here's the RNG. You can either just save or lose 2 seconds every hit based on if these platforms fall correctly.
And that time we saved 2 seconds.
Yeah,
if the platform is there, then...
We got the good RNG.
Yeah.
But it happens for every hit except for the last one, which is just awesome. You know what auto-scrollers need more of? RNG.
Yes.
It's also really annoying to pick up your rings so
Yeah.
you could do the skip again if the platform isn't there, because the rings you want to get are
Oh, and
right
I
under
saved
there.
another 2 seconds.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah. Besides that, though, there's nothing really much to say about this boss. If you guys got any donations, go ahead, feel free.
All right, yeah, there's one left over from the Rose run that we didn't get to, so it's from YTP Renewed for $5. Thank you. And his comment was, years after my obsession with this game, follow me inside, outside, through the stratosphere, played in my head during math problems about stratospheric absorption and UV rays. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
It's going to a good cause.
Yes,
But
that
this
is true.
last hit, there is unfortunately nothing we can do to speed it up. We just kind of have to
Yeah.
wait for him to come to us.
And it's important to mention, too, you could actually, for the last hit, go all the way out to where Iblis is, and you're going to see in a little bit that Iblis is actually going down after it throws these puffs. And so you jump literally off that top platform, and you start heading over to Iblis, and as Iblis is going down right now, you anti-grav to kill Iblis. The only downside to that is you lose the entire boss pretty much by doing that, and it only saves 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very inconsistent final hit strat. But
And,
yeah,
yeah, there you go. That's Iblis.
we actually got the best possible RNG here, so that was pretty sick.
There was one more platform we could have gotten, actually, but yeah. Still very, very good.
But now we're out of the future, and we get to not have any more 2.5-minute autoscrollers, so woohoo. We're done with those.
Yeah.
We get to play the game again.
Yeah, now we've reached the halfway point, and now is an important time to introduce the bounce bracelet, which is obviously featured in SE2. You've seen that last time with the LTA. But actually, mechanically, it's a lot different in this game. And
It's a lot less broken.
Slightly less you can do with it, to say the least.
Yeah, it basically locks your position wherever you bounce, unlike the variability that you get like in SA2. But we use this to our advantage actually in Radical Train, which is the next stage coming up right
It's the best
here.
stage.
Yeah,
So we have to buy the bounce bracelet in order to get into this little vent that
yeah,
takes us
there
to
you
the
go.
stage. Yeah, the bounce bracelet is not nearly as much of a staple as it is in SA2 runs. It has like some niche use in certain ILs, but we're not going to be seeing that in this run, unfortunately. But Radical Train, the main gimmick of this level is Eggman has rigged a passenger train to explode, like it's on a collision course with bombs, and we have to stop the bomb. We have to detonate the bombs before it gets to the passenger train. This is a gimmick we are actually locked into. Like, we can clip through these doors, but if we try, we're just going to, like, the train's going to run into the bombs and we're going to die. So we do actually have to play along with the gimmick. Here we have a little skip. We're going to send Sonic up so that he can homing attack onto a higher
I'm gonna
up
go
enemy.
for this.
Oh, God. This is a very tight jump.
There we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so luckily it doesn't actually take very long to open the first 2 doors. We could skip the third one, but the first 2 you have to do, but you barely even have to go out of your way anyway.
Yeah, we get to skip the third one because it's right at the end, so we can just go to the section trigger, and train can't run into a bomb if it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And this one we could just skip. We don't have to hit the switch since it's like literally right outside the thing. Can we get Insta-Clip? There we go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. And here we have our next Mach Speed section. We're going to be going for an automation skip. It's going to look really goofy, but we kind of have to play along because you can't turn in the air. Like, famously, as if you jump in Mach Speed, your position's locked in. You are going whichever way you were sent. So we have to kind of do this weird jump, and then we have to fling ourselves off to the side
Oh, that was very close.
to ram ourselves into the wall so that we get to skip that little ramp. But from here, we're just taking light dashes, running in straight lines, and catching up to the train.
Yeah. And we make sure we keep our speed from the initial light dash as long as possible for this, too.
And we get hit.
There we go,
You can
142.
just
Very
run
nice.
into the train at the end, and the stage will still finish. Pretty funny.
Now, coming up, we have, I want to say the hardest boss in the game. It's very, very difficult cycle-based boss. We're going to be using a little bit of purposeful damage boosting in order to get multiple cycles in a row. Very difficult boss, but Flub is notoriously very good at it, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. And we're going to be using a new mechanic, actually, that we could have implemented earlier. It's very tough in White Acropolis, but we're going to be actually going up onto the boss using a rock, and it's very tough. You have to go in the middle of the rock, and here, let me, oh, messed it up there.
Yeah, so we're going to be launching off of the rock in
There
order
we
to
go.
get onto the boss early.
And you just up like another rock launch. Oh, it didn't work. Maybe to get on
Victory
top
lap.
of it, but we finished the boss, and there you go. That's Egg Genesis.
I always
Very,
love
very
how long he
nice.
takes to explode after he hits the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 15 seconds, I think, give or take.
And next up we have not the most difficult split in the run. We have another princess level.
We've got some more really
Yeah.
fun, riveting, carrying Elise gameplay coming up.
I joked about it being easy, but it is actually really, really jank. The whole gimmick of the stage is that there are these vines that you have to press A on in order to, like with a specific timing in order to progress in the level. But the timing of like when you need to press A is notoriously very hit or miss. Like the game tells you to press A when the bulb on the vine glows, but it is not at all related to the bulb glow like whatsoever. And there's one in particular that can very, very easily kill you if you press A at the wrong time. So it's kind of a very, very nerve-wracking split, but
Yeah, and in the beginning right here, I'm going to be holding up left so that way we avoid those rings to avoid an S rank that we have to deal with later instead of getting hit by the enemies. At
also
the
we
end
don't have to
or
go on
so.
a log.
Yeah. We're going to actually homing attack on his surface so that way we gain a little bit more speed there than we usually would in this normally automated section. Oh, a
Yeah,
nice
like
skippy.
there, she mentions, you know, jump when the blood is glowing, but this vine in particular, you are a madman for going for that first swing. The first swing of that bulb kills people so often, but we have no fear.
I think it's like a frame perfect input if I remember
It's
correctly.
like 3 or 4 frames. But this entire section is very nerve-wracking to have this late in the run, because you press A at the wrong time or you whiff a homing attack, you're dead. You go back. You lose like 20, 30 seconds for that.
Yeah, we're going to see another anti-grab clip coming up. Pretty similar concept to the one from the tunnel and flame core, and we're going to use it to skip a really long automated section. That's these loops
Let's
that you'll
see.
see coming up here take a
Two.
really long time.
Yeah, like
There
the
we go.
speed pads there are notoriously not set correctly, so you just like walk very slowly along the top of the loop. And in this next section, like we've thought, wow, that first section had a lot of riveting gameplay. We had big gaps and
Yes.
cool homing attacks. But in this section, we have the active holding forward. This
Yeah.
section is supposed to be really wide open, and there's a
Yeah.
bunch of alternate paths and stuff. But the optimal path is to just pan our camera down so we reduce
Yeah.
lag and walk forward
Yeah.
the whole time.
Except for this time, we don't have to do it. It's just that section is very laggy because, you know, same thing as Mario 64. Like, that game, it runs on a console it can't handle. So
Sub
same thing with this
140.
game. But there we
Wow.
go, sub 140.
That's a really, really good time.
And I barely missed the S rank, too.
Just barely. Yeah, the S rank requirement
like
is
30.
It's 50,000.
Yeah, if you have over 30 rings, you cannot get an A rank anymore at that point with the time that I got.
But now coming up, we have another very, very nerve-wracking split. We have Tails Wave Ocean, because for some reason the devs were like, yes, play the same level that you played before with a different character.
That you also already did play a section of him as. but-
Yeah.
Yeah. it's the only level in the game that repeats twice in the story, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like Sonic has 10 stages, but the other main acts, they only have 9 stages. This gives us time to explain Tails' flight mechanics. So, Tails normally does have a flight cap. So, if you hold A for too long, Tails will kind of like hit an invisible ceiling and then fall back down. But the game actually does not enforce that ceiling unless you are holding A. So if you release A before you hit the ceiling, you're able to bypass it and kind of unlock a second part of Tails' flight when you hold A again. Also, there's this loop speed trick. This is really cool. Woo! We're going all the way over here. But when you bypass the flight cap, you're able to hold A again and unlock a part of his flight where you just go like strictly horizontally, which allows us to cover some crazy gaps.
Also, shout-outs to Wyke for finding this route that's actually RTA faster.
Yeah, that pole, we reset off of that. Very, very small pole, hard to hit.
Yeah, you avoid lag. The left route is actually faster in an IL setting, but in a run we time it basically everything except for the loads, and so doing that route basically has way less lag and only loses about 0.2, give or take.
Yeah, Flub in particular is very, very good at this IL, so we're seeing some cracked Tails gameplay.
Yeah, there were a lot of other small things where he would land on little edges so that you can start he would like run off of it and start a flight.
112, that's very good.
Jumping is pretty slow as Tails.
Yeah, low 112 is pretty good.
Well, not bad.
All right, and now we're going to be coming up on another mission triad. This time,
another 3.
This time to unlock Kingdom Valley as opposed to White Acropolis.
Yeah, but this is where the game gets interesting because this is where we unlock Sonic's unique upgrades. Well, more unique upgrades, the gems. He normally has 7 of them, and they all do various things, but we're only going to be picking up 4 of them. Here, we're going to be picking up the blue gem, which grants us like a kind of Mach speed boost that's going to be basically our bread and butter. It will be basically replacing Spin Dash. And we're going to be picking up the green gem, which we're only going to see one time, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. There's a trick involved with it. Oh, and we knocked over the old man.
Rip
Great.
Bozo.
He takes a sweet time getting back up.
Yeah.
He's really easy to spook on accident when you're trying to just go up and talk to him.
Yeah, so Blue Gem grants us a speed that's like way faster than Spin Dash, but the caveat is we're locked out of turning left and right for about half a second, and if you run into anything pretty much, like stage geometry, enemies, you will bonk, you'll fall on your butt, and you'll lose 2 seconds. So it has like a very, very high skill ceiling. Like even runners of the game, like not a lot of them use Blue Gem like super optimally. So it makes the run a lot more fun for a lot of people. Oh, we're doing the actual portal route?
There we go. Very
Sheesh.
nice. Oh, I almost missed the ring.
Yeah,
But
so
there you go.
that was supposed to be, that was a portal maze. You can cheese it by just bouncing on a tree and hitting a spring, but taking the portals is actually faster. And because this mad lad ILs this mission, he knows the optimal portal route. So
Yeah, one day we were all in call and we were looking at strats for a new glitchless category, and basically we found out that the portals were actually faster this whole time, as opposed to cheesing it with the bounce bracelet like we did before.
But now we have probably the scariest split in the run, especially if you're on console. This mission is insanely infamous because you have no rings. It's a combat mission, you have no rings, and a lot of the enemies can really just cheese you. Like there are these crabs at the beginning that just release death bombs when they die, so like you can get suicide bombed by a robotic crab, and it's like kind of like not really your fault if you die, but you lose like 2 minutes if you die on this mission. So it's very, very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you have to load back into the hub world, then the guy tells you how stupid you were for dying, and then you have to talk to him again about, he tells you the mission again like you didn't already know what you were supposed to do, and then you can go back in and try again, and it just takes forever.
Yeah, it loses like 2 minutes RTA. There we did a bounce onto a jump trigger, a chain jump trigger, in order to skip a lengthy set of springs. And we're just cleaning up here.
And there we go, we didn't die.
Very clean.
Yeah, if you die on that mission, you lose like 2 minutes because you have to basically exit out and the guy tells you you suck, and then you go back in and then the guy explains the mission again, and then you have to do the whole thing again. Yeah, it's very wonderful.
Yeah, so you lose like 2 minutes plus however long you were into the mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But next we have the greatest mission in the game where you must choose between Amy and Elise. And both options are correct, and you get an S rank no matter what.
Yeah.
But, funny story, Elise is factually the correct choice because she is 2 frames faster. So we're going to be picking her.
Yes.
She's faster. I don't know what to tell you. She is actually faster and harder to execute, so you get to save time and say you're better than everyone else if you pick Elise. That's a win-win.
Let's see. Did we get it optimally? Hey,
that was pretty optimally.
Under 2 seconds is really, really difficult for that mission, so I'm very, very glad I got that. And there we go. That's the last mission in the mission triad that is before Kingdom Valley. And now we're going to be going into the best part of the run. These next 2 stages are so cool, and I'm so excited to show these 2.
Oh yeah, like the highest skill ceiling stages in the game. Like times on this range in like 30 to 40 seconds depending on skill level. Like there is so much depth and such a high skill ceiling to these two levels.
Yeah, these 2 are definitely my first and second favorite levels in the game. They're just so technical and cool, and you finally get the blue gem to really just go crazy.
Yeah, and so right away, right here in Kingdom Valley, we're just going to be loading in and skipping this entire spiral section that you have to normally do, and just jump straight down to the rail, the wind rail or whatever.
Man, we can just barely make this.
Yeah. And then here's another tight jump. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That homing attack is very, very tight. Quick blue gem there. Now we're going to be spin dashing into these dash panels because, again, dash panels add to your speed instead of just setting your speed to a value. So spin dashing into them is faster.
Yeah.
And we're going to be skipping the eagle here by doing a very tight jump off of this platform and homing attack into the load zone. Very nice.
Yeah, there we go. And then this section, you normally play as Silver, but we're going to be skipping him because we do not have access to any of his upgrades, and so he's really slow.
Oh yeah, Silver is painfully slow without upgrades, especially in this section. So we're just going to homing attack off the eagle early and run across these pillars to basically just like go forward into his section early. And since we're Sonic, we can just like traverse all of this. Like this section was pretty much made for Silver, but we get to just run across it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Sonic triggers Sonic.
So Sonic congratulates himself as we fly off into the sunset.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that in Silver we end up doing the opposite and skipping Sonic instead and playing the Sonic section as Silver, but in Sonic we skip Silver section and play the Silver section as Sonic.
Not at all confusing.
All right, this section features the skip we mentioned earlier with the green gem. So
hopefully we'll be seeing it. This section is the most technical out of all of them. We're going to be seeing multiple spin dash clips in order to skip combat here. You just go at the right angle, you spin dash through the door. Those wind rails are very, very strange in that, like, homing attacking them on certain parts, you get to just, like, phase forward for some reason. And coming up is Castle Skip, that skip we talked about. Flub is going to be attempting to grab onto one of the eagles in the background that is meant to be for scenery.
Oh.
Nice. And we're going to green gem to destroy this tower, jump onto it, and then jump toward
Hey,
the
we got
change-up
it.
trigger. Very nice. That saves 8 seconds, skips some very lengthy automation.
Oh, there we go.
Gotta be careful not to fall off here.
And from here, we have these very, very dangerous stairs. These are affectionately called magnet stairs, because if you bonk on these stairs at all, you are just stuck to them and you fall down and die. They're very scary, but we've conquered the magnet stairs, thankfully.
Yeah.
And nice little clip here in order to skip some combat.
Hey,
Blue gem skid.
Let's go.
There are like 3 ways to clip through that door. You can just spin dash through it. You can spin dash and then blue gem, or you can blue gem, wait a bit, and then skid. And for whatever reason, you get to clip while you're skidding, and blue gem skid is the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, and then this is the last Mach speed, although it's the easiest in the entire game.
There's really not a lot going on here, so we can
Yeah.
read a few donations if we have some.
Alrighty, we got one here from Originality Ace for $5. Donating for another one of the homies. I remember the first time we talked, I told you about SA2A, and you told me you were a world record holder in this game. Your ability to master this game and its glitches is always a treat to watch. You've come a long way, bud. Proud of you. Good luck on the rest of the run.
Hey, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Ace.
Ace, so much.
But yeah, this one is mechanically the most simple, but it is really cool to look at. The
waterfall's going up, by the way.
Yeah. And it's actually going to be a really, really good time on this
this
stage.
is a really good Kingdom Valley. Wow.
315.
Anything under 320 is like really good.
Too easy. No sweat.
All right. So after that stage, we have a little bit more town movement where we have to activate the portal to the next stage by hitting all of the bells in Soliana, and also buying a few gems that we will take advantage of in the next stage, which is also my favorite stage in this entire run, and you'll see why.
And he's cracked at it, don't worry. So yeah, this hub world movement is like notoriously, again, very hard. Like pretty much anything with the blue gem involved is going to have a high skill ceiling, and it definitely shows.
Yeah, there's so many people that are walking around, and those people, if you're blue gemming and run into them, you'll bonk, and the bonk in this game is so slow.
Yeah, it's like all of the passerbys in Soliana are completely random, and the draw distance on them is like so incredibly low that it's so easy to accidentally run into an old man and lose 2 seconds.
Yeah, and sometimes I just like that guy. That guy was like hiding like right at the base of the bridge, and you just wouldn't be able to see him if you just booked it with the blue gem. Got to make sure not to talk to the little kid.
Yeah, that has happened to that's happened to you before.
Yeah, if
hasn't
you
it?
talk to him, I was just mashing buttons trying to go on and move on with my life and, activate the rest of the bells. And he gives you a mission, and when you leave the mission, it doesn't even count the bells that you already rang. And
Yeah.
it's a big mistake, and it was really funny though.
Yeah, and here we go. This is the last stage of the run.
Fabled Pele skip. Yeah, this stage is super technical. There are 2 gems we just bought. Sky Gem basically works like a magic grappling hook. You throw the gem, and wherever it lands, you go. But the funny thing about it is, you go to that location very quickly. So in certain spots where there's like a large gap, it's best to just like throw Sky Gem, because you travel insanely quickly. And the other gem is White Gem, which allows you to do, it's basically just a homing attack that's not mapped to the A button, which allows us to do a homing attack very close to the ground, which allows us to clip through certain doors like we saw before Egg Cerberus. So instead of doing the frame perfect homing attack, we just press A and then press LT, and it's basically free. Here we're going to be Sky Gemming out of bounds and throwing our Sky Gem
Is this too
way
low?
later into
Oh,
the
we're
level. So this is the room Shadow spawns in, but we don't want to be there, so we're going to clip through the door. And then this is the part where Tails is in, but we don't want to be there, so we're going to
Come
clip through the
on.
door.
This is very finicky. There we go.
And
then we
now
skip
we're
this
at the
section.
end.
Yeah.
We go into like 3 different sections there.
Yeah, that Aquatic Base Act 1 is so cool in the speedrun, but it is miserable casually.
Yeah.
All right, this section's really, really tough.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing more Sky Gem throws. Don't worry, we sure do like those. We're going to be seeing more of those later to skip Knuckles. So we skip Tails, we're going to skip Knuckles too, because we don't need their help. So again, we're going to White Gem clip through this door, and then just Blue Gem down these hallways. These hallways are notoriously very hard to Blue Gem down, because like all of the little bits of geometry, they all have hitboxes, and you can bonk on everything.
That was, snap back.
That was sketchy.
Hold up. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Hold up.
A bit of an explosion, but it's
1,
fine.
2, 3, 4, 5.
So we're going to throw Sky Gem over there. We're going to get taken over there. We get taken very, very quickly.
Yeah. And this skips having to fly around with Knuckles, which is actually really slow.
And it also skips a lot of game lag.
Yeah.
That's the main reason it saves time. It actually only saves like a second or two IGT, but because of the lag, it's optimal to do it. And we're just going to skip a lot more combat and go through the final stretch. Oh, and we haven't mentioned it, but you can't bonk while you're spin kicking. So we're going to spin kick through lasers, spin kick against walls. We're going to do all of it.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And there you go. That is the last stage. And all we have is one more boss.
And this is a very much blink and you'll miss it boss. We do not have time to explain what's about to happen, but get ready on time.
Yeah, get ready on time, because it's going to be wonderful.
It is a doozy for sure. Thrust.
Thrust increasing.
Got to spend way more time watching load
Yeah.
the cutscene and then load the fight, and then he dies in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming in on time here.
Time
If we
ends
hit
when
this.
the IL timer stops.
Yeah.
Right back at you. I'll finish.
And
Time. Let's go.
Let's go.
GG.
56, baby. Let's go. Yes. All right. So I guess now it's time to explain what just happened. So basically, we homing attack on our own Sky Gem and hit Wyvern's horn. And basically, Wyvern gets sent off all the way in the distance. And what happens is, like, we shot off from the platform to basically just end the boss. We're not entirely sure why it ends, but
we have a theory. This is my nerd emoji moment. So, the bug that normally happens whenever when a Sky Gem lands while you're on Wyvern's horn, Wyvern will just like fly into the distance for like 30 seconds and eventually despawn. Because the process for Sonic being thrown off of Wyvern and Sky Gem, this is the working theory, is that they both reuse spring code. So by shooting ourselves into the air, we trick the game into thinking that Wyvern's throwing us off, which despawns the boss.
Yeah. And that shoot-up was actually found complete on accident. It was supposed to be a save. DSS in 2013 was just like trying to finish this run, and he was like +2 on world record or whatever, and then fell off the platform, Sky Gem up, the boss just ended.
Yeah, he was trying to save himself, but he killed the boss early.
Yeah. But there you go. That's Sonic's story for you guys. This is actually crazy to me because this is faster than the formerly longest standing record that actually lasted until 2020, which was a 56-58. And since then, a lot of new strats have came out, and the community has really found so many new cool stuff to offer.
Shoutouts to the 06 community.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoutouts to Nick, who currently has had the record for almost 2 years, pretty much. Longest standing record holder right now. Of course, DSS, Triple Agent / Liam for, doing the previous big Sonic story run that happened 7 years ago now. And everyone in the 06 community, all are incredible. And Sacer Events as well. Shoutouts to Sacer Events, because we got to show every single game thus far in the Sonic series, except for SA2, that's featured on Sacer. And I couldn't be more happier to end the Sacer block for everyone. with this beautiful game.
But be sure to watch Sonic CD coming up next.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. This was like a lifelong dream of mine to get into a marathon like this and be able to perform this run. Thank you guys so much. And shout outs to Emerald. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.